Hi, I'm Cristy, and this is the journey to TEDxWilmington. It has been an all-day event. It has been so exciting. We are getting to the final stages. We only have a couple speakers left to talk to, and Lisa just got off stage. How was it?
It was incredible. I honestly am a little disbelieved that it's over. I couldn't believe it being on the stage, and I shared a lot of very, very vulnerable stories.
Okay.
And so I even got choked up and a little emotional at times. And I was just speaking my truth. And so it was great in that I was speaking my truth. And at the same time, I can't really believe that it happened and it's already done. So
I love that. That's how I felt. I was like, I don't even know what I said.
Yeah.
I was just like, okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay.
Wow. All right. So, remind us, what was the title of your talk?
Better than logic: how to make your most important decisions.
I love that. Okay. So I know your story. Did you get into your story? Do you want to share a little bit?
Yeah, I shared two of the hardest and yet best decisions I've ever made in my life. And one was calling off my wedding, and the other was leaving my job as a doctor and medical director to live my truth, to do what I'm doing now. And so I share parts of that story, and really because I feel like sometimes we have these challenging moments in our lives and we're faced with a decision and it can feel so hard, and sometimes we feel so alone when we're making it.
Yes.
And so that's why I wanted to share my story in case it helps someone else that might be in that situation or feeling alone, because it wasn't easy when I was doing it.
Right. Oh, that's beautiful. It is. Oh my gosh. Do you feel like you still, this was your journey and you had a lot of healing process, but talking about it, like going through this TEDx process, did you feel like you were still healing? Like, was there healing still to be done?
Oh my God. First of all, I never trained to speak on stage. Are you kidding me? Like, that's not what my training was for 12 years of my life. And so the fact that I even went on stage and shared my truth, my story, even though it's super vulnerable and raw, that was a healing in itself. Because I grew up in a family, in a culture where you hide those things. You don't speak out the things that you are embarrassed by, you bring shame on the family if you do.
Right.
And so for me, even daring to put that in my talk as I was creating it, and then to actually speak it on stage, that in itself was a healing that I had to work through a lot of stuff to even get myself to be able to do it. It was scary.
You're so brave. Oh, I love this. Oh, you are so inspiring. And I love that you came out and you did this story and you shared with people, because, let's be honest, the life that you were leading up to a certain point, that's the dream to some people. She's a badass doctor, and she was the youngest medical director in the Bronx. You had a lot of high achievement going on, and just all of a sudden, your life, you were like, this is not my purpose. And you found it, and you started working it, and you did it, and look at you today. So I'm extremely proud of you. I think that your story is incredible. I am honored to call you friend. Wow. Getting up there and sharing this story, I can imagine, the emotion that was pouring out of you. Now, how did you feel the response was from the audience?
I was very touched. I could see people. It was kind of blurry, right? It's a little dark in the audience, but I could almost feel some of them really feeling it. I don't know how else to explain it, but I could see some people were leaning in, and I asked some questions to bring it to their life, right? Because like you were saying, I was living a life that a lot of people dream of and work so hard for, and invest time, money, energy to study to be a doctor, and then all of a sudden you made it, and then you don't want to do it anymore? Like, who does that, right? Kind of thing. Right. And yet there's so many people out there, I think, that are super successful and super high achievers based on other people's metrics, even celebrities, right? Yet who are secretly suffering because they're not happy, they're not fulfilled. That's why we hear about all these well-known names unfortunately committing suicide. Right? And so part of me sharing it is like, yeah, I achieved this high goal by most people's standards, and if that's not my truth, then it's okay to do something out of the box. And so my hope is that the message gives other people permission to really be their most authentic and truest selves, and to be able to let go of what other people expect and other people's opinions or anything else that might be holding them back.
Right. I love that, because you're right. It takes courage to sit there. You worked so hard to get to a certain spot, and you thought at that point you were doing it for you, but then just circumstance changed, and you woke up and you were like, this is not who I am supposed to be. But it was the path that you needed to take to become who you are today. And that, I think, is the most important thing for people to take away from that, is that, every single step that we take is what builds us into what we are to become. And you got to be brave to go for it. And you were brave. You were brave. And I, hands down, it's impressive.
Thank you.
Yeah. So how was it getting up on that stage? I mean, what were the nerves like? What did it feel like?
I did a lot to ground myself, to move my energy, because I have done a lot of personal work and deep healing. And so I was having a lot of nerves beforehand, and I kind of anticipated. So I had my strategies of really breathing and grounding myself, doing some meditations. And then, so by the time I was walking onto the stage, it felt pretty good, surprisingly, right? It just felt like I was just doing it, and all of a sudden I'm doing it, and now we're done. Okay. And now we're here.
And we're done. So, I just did a TEDx.
Okay. I know, I can't believe it. So
fantastic. I'm so happy for you. I'm so proud of you. So I'm giving people the opportunity to share their links, because when we do TED, we're not allowed to, we're not allowed to publicize like what we do really, or, promote our own businesses. So this is an opportunity for you to share your links if you want, so people can, follow you, understand what you're doing better, so please share.
Awesome. So you can find me on most of the platforms. So like Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn at Lisa Yeung MD. And my last name is Yeung. And then the website is simple. It's the same thing, lisayeungmd.com. Yeah. So it makes it easy for everyone.
Right. And that doctor in her is still there. She's still giving medical advice, but she's doing it more on an energy level, and, just taking people to where they need to be, and reducing that stress in their life. And me, like, I'm all about reducing as much stress as possible for people. And, your mission is a good one. And I think that you have the ability to reach a lot of people with this talk today. I can't wait to see it. I really can. I have to wait like everybody else, but cannot wait to see it. But thank you so much for making time for me today, and just being here. We love having you here.
Thank you, honey.
Oh, so good. Oh, all right, Lisa. All right, we still have 2 more speakers that we are going to look at today. It's so exciting, Lisa, though. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.